As the movie begins, we see a man named Ish in the middle of a dense forest. Ish is a biologist who has been living in the forest for his research. One day, during his work, he is bitten by a poisonous snake. Panicking, he drops his phone, leaving him unable to call for help. Desperate, he tries to suck the venom out of the wound, but it doesn't work. He returns home and attempts to make a small cut to drain the poison. Unfortunately, it is too late. The venom spreads through his body, causing him to experience intense hallucinations. He laid for many days. Even a team of scientists also came here to pick him. He was aware of what was happening, as he was still alive, but his body lacked the strength to fight it. He courageously calls them, but couldn't make any voices. Similarly, they all left while finding that Ish isn't here. The scene shifts, and a few days later, it is revealed that the cut he made helped expel the poison from his body. The poison's effects on his brain also began to heal, though he still experienced occasional hallucinations. As he comes to his senses, he decides to go to the city hospital. He cleans his car and moved towards the city, but he noticed a strange thing, that there were no cars on the road. When he reaches the city, he doesn't see any human alive. All the buildings were empty. Seeing this, he panicked. A deadly pandemic broke out, wiping out the entire population within a few days. Since Ish was a biologist and had been living far away from the city for so long, he realized that this was the reason he remained unaffected and he survived. Now obviously, as the population is over, so there is no owner, no government. Ish remembered his parents, and when he drove to their home, he found them dead for several days. Their bodies were in a terrible condition. Overwhelmed with grief, he cried deeply but then gathered the courage to bury them outside their house. He wakes up in the morning and sees the whole city. There was no other survivor. Thinking this, he decides to move to another city. He decides to move to Las Vegas. He leaves with a gun and some important stuff, but the bridge that can take him to Las Vegas was sealed. He was overcome with rage, but after traveling a long way to Las Vegas, he found that everyone there was dead as well. The hotels, huge casinos, and malls were empty. Being tired, he goes to a hotel. He spends a night there and enjoys expensive things because now it was free for him. He lost his hope to find anyone, but the next night he meets two survivors of this pandemic. The girl tells him her sad story, that she saw her family dying on video call and now she is hopeless to stay alive. The man, overwhelmed by loneliness, wishes to die, as he feels he cannot survive in this desolate world. They stayed with Ish tonight, but as the morning appears, Ish feels their intentions dangerous. That man had a gun and intends to kill the tree so their death will become easier, but Ish decides he wants to live, so he leaves the area, only to hear gunshots in the distance. It meant they had taken their own life. This incident shattered him, and he felt a deep, overwhelming sense of being completely alone in the world. Driving back home at high speed, he suddenly saw a dog run in front of his car, just as alone as Ish was. Ish makes it his companion, and it finds a new hope to live. Ish starts his new life. He starts reading survival books, and there wasn't any shortage of food. There wasn't any need to earn. He daily roams in the town at the work time in the hope to find any survivor, but he daily returns hopeless. One day, he was standing near the window with his dog while having tea. His dog suddenly starts barking, means it felt someone's presence. There was smoke in a house at a far distance, which clearly meant that there could be someone. He quickly pulls his car off the road and heads toward a house from which smoke is rising. Luckily, there was a girl who gets scared to see Ish. Ish makes her believe that he will not harm her. He is also a lone person and looking for a survivor. Hearing this, the girl allows him to come inside her house. The girl's name was Emma, and through their conversation, we learn that it has been a year since the pandemic began. Emma and Ish didn't see any other survivor in this whole year except them. They were happy that they find each other, otherwise, it was difficult to spend the life alone. They were sinking into depression because humans are inherently social creatures, and their isolation had severely deteriorated their mental health. They decided to stay at Ish's house together because the general store was at a short distance from Ish's house, and he has stored so many things at his house which can make their life easy. Emma also comes to Ish's house, and their life has become better while staying together. Emma supports Ish in many ways. She helps improve his appearance and even starts renovating his house. As Ish didn't pay attention to his house in the whole year, they wake up in the morning to work together and complete their target. They also understand that now they are alone in this world, so they have to increase the population as well. It was a mutual decision at first, but when Ish finds out about it, he becomes frightened. He was scared that if his kids would survive in this strange world. Emma encourages him that everything will get better. As a biologist, Ish starts reading books of the ways to deliver a baby because he knew that they are alone, so they have to do it themselves. Along with it, they were making their house perfect. Ish also installed solar panels to generate electricity continuously. Now, because many years passed since the pandemic, the cities were turning into forests and the wild animals were moving to the city, it was becoming becoming a danger for them. That's why they made a fence around their house and also kept some weapons to protect themselves. They also kept pets to meet their needs and keep themselves occupied. The area around turned into green because of no human, and the wind also becomes clear. Their health also improved. Their life was perfect, but then one day, they face a problem. Unknowingly, a large number of rats appeared in the city, and Ish panicked when he saw them. To keep those rats away from his house, Ish starts burning the trash around his house. He can do this only for a night. Emma makes him understand that we will sort it out. As morning breaks, Ish steps outside and releases several cats around his house. The cats starts eating the rats, and finally, they get out of this problem too. Finally, the day arrives when Emma has to deliver the baby. Ish handles all this. Now we are shown that Emma delivers a girl, and they were happy to see her. They get a new hope to live. After that, they go out onto the roads and write their address, hoping that any survivors might find their way to their house for food and water, and so, 6 years pass. Ish was moving towards the forest for some work that suddenly, a wild animal comes in front of his car. Ish comes out being scared and sees the animal. It was still alive. It was suffering, so Ish makes it easy for it that Ish shoots it. A girl was watching all this from a distance. Hearing this voice, she gets scared and runs inside the forest. Ish sees her running and immediately runs after her to capture her. The girl was feeling that Ish will harm her, but Ish wasn't like this. They were also finding survivors. When he gives an apple to this hungry girl, she understands that Ish isn't bad. Ish wants to take her home with him, but she didn't sit in the car with him, but sits in the trunk. Reaching home, it is shown that the girl wasn't easy to come out of the trunk. At home, we see that Emma and Ish now have 2 kids, and now they were going to have a 3rd baby. Due to the address they wrote in the whole town, 2 more survivors come to stay with them named Jorge and Maureen. Now for the last year they were living with Ish and Emma because they have everything. The girl Ish brought from the forest was still in the car. She even spent the night in the trunk. In the morning, Maureen comes to offer her food. She gets scared and throws food away. Maureen calms her and tells her story that she and Jorge were wandering in this lone world for months. Then they got Ish and Emma's address and started living with them. She tells her that they are very nice and there is no shortage of anything. Hearing this from her, this girl relaxes and becomes frank with them. The strange thing was that the girl didn't speak much and still hadn't revealed her name. One day, Maureen comes across her belongings and finds strange drawings among them. She discovers the girl's name Evie in a letter to it was written in this letter that her dad did wrong to her during this pandemic, due to which she was scared of every person who comes in front of her. This letter was written by her mom for the person who will take care of Evie during her stay because her mom was about to die. Knowing this, everyone starts caring for Evie even more. Emma has her 3rd baby this night, which makes everyone happy. A year passed, and one day, they get a news that someone has come to their area. They get scared, and while sending the kids inside, they all come out with guns to check who has come. They find out that it was another survivor group of 4. They also come air while watching Ish and Emma's address. Among them was a doctor named Molly, who mentioned that she had only encountered these 4 people over the years. Now she is meeting Ish's family. From their conversation and demeanor, it becomes clear that they mean no harm to anyone. So Ish and Emma include them in their family because there wasn't any shortage of things. Now they can make a huge society together. Ish tells the new members the rules to survive in this world, that they have to keep their weapons because this world has become like a forest. They can face wild animals at any time, so at the time of collecting supplies, it is compulsory for them to go out in groups, otherwise any wild animal could harm them. After telling all this, they go out to collect the supplies towards malls and hospital. Molly as a doctor has collected so many things from the hospital which they can take to their community, and they could get treatment from those things. Well, many years passed and we find out that many kids have been born in this group. The other couple also has kids. Their community was increasing. Ish used to teach his kids and tells them how the communities were before, how humans survived. He was teaching them so that they will not face any problem in the future. Their life was going normal, and there was a dense forest around their house, and a huge lion comes to their house from this forest. Thankfully, Ish sees it and he moves towards it to save his kids, but the lion attacked. Before they could react, the lion attacked and tore him apart, leaving them in panic. The lion eventually left when they arrived. Emma, enraged by Ish's condition, furiously shot the lion in the forest, while everyone along with Molly saved Ish at the right time. Then his treatment started. It took many weeks, but then he becomes healthy like before. Now 17 years pass and their kids become young. We find out that after years, Ish's elder daughter, Heather, was involved with a boy of their group. They had a good friendship and none criticized them because they have to build relations with each other. Heather and this boy want to go out of this town to explore this world and to find more survivors. None even criticize this, and they send them on a journey while giving them some stuff and weapons. Another problem rises when they left. They have much resources, but now they they face water problems. They go to the dam and discover that the water is drying up, which could turn into a life-threatening problem for them. Another survived group comes to their area after a few days who have 2 trucks. They lack the petrol which they ask from Ish, and they say that they can solve their water problem in return as they have drill machine and can take out water under from the ground with it. Ish doesn't believe the deal is bad, so he includes them in his community but warns everyone to remain cautious. It's shown that the survivors begin drilling at Ish's house as part of their agreement. After the hard work of many days, the water comes out and they become happy. The deal was completed and Ish also gives them petrol. They celebrate it tonight. They had to leave in the morning. Ish notices that the group leader was leaving their room suspiciously at night. One of his group member was guarding outside. When he checked, he find out that he tortured Evie. Ish tells this to whole community and it was dangerous. Evie tells them that he was saying that he will not go anywhere because there are a lot of supplies and he also have guns. This makes everyone panic. Ish feels that now they have to kill Charlie. If they wouldn't do it, they will kill their whole community which they made after years. Everyone was in the favor to kill Charlie, but Few says only few people left in this world. If they kill Charlie, it will result in a significant loss to the population. Then Ish says if we wouldn't kill Charlie then we will be killed. They make a plan and surround Charlie before Charlie could say something. Ish kills him with an axe. Then he buried him, feeling guilty about everything he had done. He killed someone for the first time for his survival. He knew that it isn't wrong because he has done all this to save his community, but even then he was sad. In the morning, they tell his group that they killed their group leader Charlie because he tortured a girl in their community. Charlie's group doesn't feel bad to hear about his death. Few of them even tells that Charlie took advantage of being a leader. He even tortured girls of his group. That's why they all were happy about his death except for his friend who yelled at them. Ish now says to Charlie's group, you all can stay here because they have everything, but not that boy because he seems like Charlie. He could be a danger for us. While asking from everyone, they throw Charlie's friend out of their group as a punishment. At first, this boy left, but when he realized that he couldn't survive in the community outside, he came back, but Ish didn't accept him for the sake of his community's security. Now it is shown that the kids in the community were trying to make a plan from the old research. They know that they will fly it in a few days, but before this, their community faces another problem. Many people in the community get infected with the virus that spread 20 years ago. Before this, these survivors were immune. Molly had a lot of medicines with which she treated them, but Ish's son was sick. The whole community was worried about his condition. In this worry, Ish's daughter is shown returning home alone while crying, and when they ask her about her partner, she tells a story while weeping that they look for cities on their journey. They searched the houses to find survivors, but they didn't find anyone. They kept writing their home address everywhere until they eventually reached a place where they find a human in the forest who killed Heather's partner. He said it was revenge for Charlie, clearly implying that he was the same man Ish had thrown out. Heather says, what could I do to escape, so I killed him too and then returned home. They all were sad. They couldn't get enough of the sorrow that Ish's son died. This wasn't enough. After his son, 3 more members of their community died. This incident broke Ish. He doesn't want to live in this world. He wants to leave this world, but then Emma supports him the same way when he was alone. She says, look, we started life when we found none, and now we have a huge group. We have to settle this world. If you will lose hope, then who will train the kids of our group? This encourages Ish, and he moves to the mountains to see the sunrise. It was different from the previous world. Now there was freshness in the nature. Seeing this, Ish realizes that this is a new world, not the old one, and that he has been teaching his kids to survive in the past, not the present. It was wrong, and he realized that now he has to teach his kids survive in this new world. Reaching home, he gives this speech to his kids that we were studying in the wrong direction. We were trying to move ahead in the old world. But if there is no old world, then why we get training to survive in the old world? This is a new world, and we have to move according to it. Ish says now you will learn what the nature will teach you and what is important to survive in this world. The communication has stopped in this world, so now they decide to make their communication network. They made a radio again, which made their communication strong. After it, Ish starts managing social events day after day. In this moment, the kids realize how humans live and coexist together. Ish didn't keep all of this to himself. He stepped out of his community and began renovating the city. He settles the hotels again and then decides to make the cities around him better. In the post-credit scene of the film, we are shown old Ish with his grandson telling him this story. He says, this world is our generation, and it's up to you to carry it forward.